Oh, what a week. Let me tell you what happened. So after I changed the tire and rods, took it for a test drive, and got to the stop sign, went from first to second, and I heard a popping sound, and started to redline. I'm like, okay, it's weird, so I pull the e-brake, car's in neutral, car's still running. I give it some gas, and I see that the car accelerates with no problem. So I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? So I put the car in neutral. No, the car's still in neutral. I put it in first gear. I slowly come off the clutch, nothing. I'm not moving. I'm like, okay. But I hear like a little turning sound coming from like the transmission. So I'm like, okay. I put the car in second, nothing. Put the car in third, all the way to like 6. It's not moving. Put it in reverse, not moving. So now I'm like, what the, Some say, see, put the car in gear without pressing the clutch and see what happens. So I was like, all right. So I put the car in first. The car doesn't stall out, doesn't buck, don't do nothing. While it's in first, I give it gas. Car not stuttering, it's not bogging down, it's just idling. I give it gas, revs up, pine, and everything. So I'm like, what the hell? So I'm thinking transmission. I'm by myself, maybe 3 minutes from the house, on foot, 20 seconds on by like driving. So I wasn't too far, but I had to push the car by myself, which sucked. Eggplant. I was fortunate enough to have a neighbor come and help me push the car up onto the driveway, but it's got like an angle on the driveway. So he had to go to work, couldn't help me finish pushing it up. So I ended up pushing it with my truck up into the driveway, up into the garage, and then I started troubleshooting. What happened was, I'm online, I'm on forums. Of course, I'm calling people, no one's answering the phone, so I'm stuck trying to figure this out on my own. And what happened was the axle popped out on the driver's side, front driver's side axle popped out. And I remember installing it after I did the swap, and I reinstalled everything, took it for a test drive and everything. It was fine, but I remember seeing between the transmission and the axle seal, here's the axle here, this part here, the seal, wasn't flushed to the transmission. So I just thought at that time, I was like, not a big deal, it should be all right. But I didn't know the issue was my locking clip, or my retaining clip right here, was fucked up, and it caused it to not lock into the transmission. So when I took it for a couple test drives, I never like punched it, you know what I'm saying? So there was not a lot of torque exerted onto the axle until the last time I took it for a test drive after I changed the tire and rods. I decided to, let me see what this thing got. So from first to second, I floored it, and I guess that torque caused it to pop out. What I ended up doing before I figured that out was I started to reverse my work. Pulled the axles out, dropped the transmission, which was a headache because for this car, you need to drop the subframe, and I didn't know. So I didn't take proper steps in securing the motor once you drop the subframe. So everything just came crashing down from the engine bay onto the ground, burst my radiator, fucking water's everywhere, coolant's everywhere, and I'm like freaking out. So I was able to recover, to say the least, and was able to figure out the issue, jack the motor back into the car, secure it, and at that time just took the transmission out since it was already on the ground. But yeah, Moral of the story is, if your axle does not sit flush with your transmission and you keep hammering that joker in and it's still not moving, you have a bad axle retaining clip. You can either try to fix it or just get a new fucking axle. In this particular case, I went and bought a new axle and took the car for a test drive. Was pushing it, no issues at this point. So we are back on track to continue with these videos. But butt cheeks was tight on that one. Lesson learned. 1, secure your motor when you drop the motor mounts in the subframe. And 2, take a couple days before you investigate a problem. Don't go in at it frustrated, because had I just went in there a couple days after it happened, I would have had a mellow head and I would have just realized my axle was the issue. Nothing to do with the transmission, nothing to do with the clutch or anything. So I caused more work for myself. Also, when the motor bay just dropped, it ripped my steering wheel column out of the knuckle. So I ended up having to pry that back on, fix it, but now my alignment's all effed up, so I'm gonna try to get that right. So essentially the car goes straight, but it's when the steering wheel is literally upside down. So I'm like, yeah, that's not right. And so I gotta figure that out. But we are back on track with the next thing to do, and that's the interior swap. And I'm gonna do another video on that. So yeah, stay tuned. Appreciate y'all. Ride with your boy. Yep.